here, but I had to go get me a cup of coffee right here. And then after I came back out here and set up, I realized I left my phone in there, had to go get it. And now I got to find you on here. I know you're on here somewhere. There we are. So far, I'm almost there. By the way, real quick in the chat, when I look up here, make sure my microphone's on. Everybody can hear me okay? I assume you can. I mean, that's all I got to go by is what you guys tell me. Is this it? Is this it? Yeah, there we go. Now I got the chat on here. LBC guy. Looks like a standard. No, what it is that when I go live out here, what I can do is it's just something that kind of added on, YouTube's added on, is I can put it on standby. So I can go ahead and get it set up, put it on standby, and then I can do what I got to do. So that way it gives you guys a minute or two to get notified. Like I just got notified. So I know it takes a while sometime for everybody to get notified. It's the same thing on the WNL show. There's a 5-minute intro. That 5-minute intro is for a reason. I'm not doing it just because it looks good. Because it gives 5 minutes for everybody to get notified that the show is starting up. And that's really all that's about. It's just that. And same thing here. By putting it on standby a little bit, get my coffee, get my cell phone, get it all set up. It just gives an extra minute or two for people to be notified. And so, like I said, I don't know how the notifications work. That's a YouTube thing, not mine. But I know sometimes there's a big delay on those things. It even happens with me. I'll do something. I know I'm live. I'm there, and my phone hasn't notified me. And then it'll take a minute, and bingo, now I'm being notified that I'm live, which I already know I'm live, But yeah, it just takes it a while sometimes. How's everybody doing? How's the weather where you're at? I can tell you here, the weather today, temperature-wise and humidity-wise, is almost perfect. I don't really know what the temperature is right now. If I had to take a stab in the dark and tell you, I would say somewhere in the mid to upper 70s. Breezy. Let me turn this around. You can see it. It's breezy today, but it feels good. Yeah, can you see him blowing around? Try and get a good picture here for everybody. Yeah. Let me turn this back around to where it was at. There we go. There we're back. Sue's not here today. I don't know if she'll be here in a little bit or not. But she went to, I want to say, ladies' luncheon. They have all kinds of stuff here the women do. Ladies breakfast, ladies' luncheon, Monday margarita Monday, whatever it's called. Ladies' cards day. I can't keep up with all of it. But anyway, that's what she does. She does all these kinds of things. And truthfully, I try to take advantage of that while the house is quiet. When she does a ladies' luncheon, ladies' cards day, ladies' margarita Monday, whatever. That's the days that I like to be able to do my editing, to do my news. Because in my news, I have to talk quite a bit. And so I do my news and all that kind of stuff while she's gone. Once I get it read, once I get it downloaded, I can edit it anytime. But I got to get it read and everything. So, like the news for not this Friday, I already got that. The news for next Friday is already done. I know what you're going to say. Well, isn't that going to be late? Yeah, it is. You're going to get the news that you get next Friday will be probably a week old. But the whole idea of the news thing for me was to give you an insight of average, everyday things that happen around here, because you all get that same story about the bubble and, inside the bubble and how great it is and all this and that. And all that's well and good and somewhat true. It ain't the whole story, as Paul Harvey would say. And that's all I try to do on the news is try to give you a broad base of actual living here. So you're not going to be surprised. And I try to bring facts to you that in a retirement community, there's things here that ain't right. It just isn't right for me to think that as a retirement community, I would never have thought that a sexual predator could move in a house next door to me. But it happens, and you need to know that. So anyway, I'm not going to harp on that all day. Like I say, the weather here is about in the mid-70s, a little breezy, nice and sunny, very warm. The humidity is very low. It's very comfortable sitting out here. I am back out in front once again. Most likely show you a little. Sue's been decorating. See the little Santa Claus head back here? There's something else somewhere. I saw it. Oh, in the window. Christmas boughs. Christmas tree's up. She decorated the tree yesterday. Got Christmas lights in a lanai. I don't know what else is going on in there. She probably got, knowing her, she probably got Christmas tablecloths put on all the tables. And Christmas candles sitting around. I don't know. I don't pay no attention to it. Not in my territory. I got some emails from some of you. Ron is one of them. He's a Patreon member. He's coming down in December. And I think there's a couple more of you said you were coming down in December for Christmas or something like that. I just hope the weather and everything's good for you, because after, us all talking about how nice the weather is, it seems like that when a lot of people come down, I get an email saying, hey, what's up with all this? Why is it cold? What's up with all this rain? I don't know, man. Hopefully the weather will be good for you. Kelly B says, happy Porch Settin Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday Night Live's on tonight. Starts at 7 o'clock. Don't forget. Ira Miller's going to be the guest. My questions for Ira Miller are going to be totally different. He doesn't know yet, unless he's watching this. But it's going to be totally different than what you're probably expecting. So, because I don't want to step on his channel. He has the things that he does on his channel. I have things that I do on my channel. And I respect other YouTubers and what they do. Ira's one of them. I'll be honest with you, some of these YouTubers here I don't respect whatsoever, but I do with him. So I try not to step on what he does, and he tries not to step on what I do. That's called respect for one another, right? So my questioning for Ira is going to be a little different. You know me, anything for a laugh. I swear to God, anything. I'm not a comedian, but I like to put smiles on people's faces. That's all. So I got my ideas. Nothing scripted. I have nothing written down. If I did, I'd have to get him involved in it, right? But I don't. I'm going to be so-called winging it, and we'll see how it goes. I haven't even told Linda anything about it yet either. No, nobody knows but me. The game, I got a game. I got a prize in there. The girls don't know what the game is. Matter of fact, they asked me the other day when Linda and Roy came over for Thanksgiving dinner. She asked me, she said, what's the game going to be this month? She's always sneaking that in there. I mean, we'll be talking about, I don't know, traveling, the RV, this is blah, 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 blah. Hey, what's the game going to be? You know, they had to sneak that in there. I don't know. I ain't got one yet, but I do. I just don't want to tell them because I think that kind of ruins the surprise. I like to catch them off guard. I'm going down through here. I don't have near as many people coming to the live as I do. They must be out Christmas shopping. It's getting that time. I haven't been Christmas shopping since I moved down here. We don't Christmas shop. Oh, I don't Christmas shop anymore. Well, if the grandkids were coming down, I would. But as far as me and Sue, I've had that. What are you gonna get, Sue? I don't generally buy Christmas anymore, and Sue really doesn't buy for me either because she knows if I want anything, I just get it. So I don't really want anything, and if she wants anything, she'll get it. Example: I was notified about right probably around Black Friday, I think, somewhere around there. Don't you just love that, Black Friday? Boy, that's a commercialized thing that the big business has really turned into a big day. Or what's the other one called for Monday? Something Monday. Can't remember what it is. This is all made up stuff. But boy, they sure are raking in the dough because of it. But anyway, I was notified. She says, "Oh, I got me all new appliances for the kitchen." What? Yeah, I got all stainless steel. I want to get stainless steel. And not only did I get stainless steel, I got the stainless steel where the fingerprints and stuff don't show because it's much easier to keep clean. My mind says this. It may not show the fingerprints, but if you touched it, the fingerprint stuff is there. You just don't see it. So, anyway, I don't get it. I just don't get it. So anyway, we already replaced the stove. You know the story about our oven and stove in the kitchen, Whirlpool. They even sent somebody out to try to fix it, and they did. It lasted for about 3 months, then it went bad again. And I'd had enough of it. That's like the third time the thing quit working. And I just said, the heck with it, got rid of it. So she went out and got a new stainless steel one. I think it's a Samsung. I want to say, I'm not 100% sure on that. And hopefully it'll be okay. But now that was a stainless steel one, you see what's happening here, right? But everything else is white. White refrigerator, the white dishwasher, white microwave. Oh, by the way, the microwave about a week ago took another crap. That's the second microwave in 8 years that just went crap. Yeah, let's keep buying this Chinese shit. Yeah, it's really good. I am so fed up with it. So we got to get a new microwave. So that stirred we got to get everything to match. So now we have a new refrigerator coming, a new dishwasher coming, a new microwave coming. All this is going to be delivered tomorrow. They're going to install the microwave only because I don't want to do it. I installed this one, and it's when you try to do something like that by yourself, they're heavy. It's just I had a problem with it. I got it in, but I don't want to do it. So they're charging, I think she said, $129 to install it. That's crazy nuts to me. But anyway, that's what it is. And then she said they was wanting to charge, I forget what it was, $50 or something to install the refrigerator. And I'm just thinking, well, there's nothing back there but a water line, and you plug it in the wall. What's the big deal? So anyway, I told her, I'll install the refrigerator. And when it comes to the dishwasher, they don't just install a dishwasher. They send out a plumber to give you an estimate of what it's going to cost to install that dishwasher. And it's $75 for the estimate, not including the price of installing it. So I got pissed off and I said, I'll just forget it. I'll do it myself. I don't know what it's going to take, but I'll just do it myself. I'm so sick of this. I think they really take advantage of elderly people here, and they just price gouge you. And as time goes on, with the villages getting bigger and bigger, and these things are being more and more in demand, they're raising their price because they can afford to now, because most of these people are 2, 4, 6 weeks out, and so they can raise the price if they want to because they're busy for the next 6 weeks. And anyway, I'm not saying it's bad business. I'm just saying I'm tired of it. So I'm going to install it myself. I've installed them before. I assume that they're about the same. Somebody just joined the appreciation level. I don't know who it was, but thanks. By the way, the December show's coming quick. And I said that all my YouTube members' donation money, whatever level you're on, there's a 99-cent level, a $5 level, and I think there's another level, but I don't know what it was. I didn't even realize I had these other 2 levels. I forgot all about them. But anyway, join one of them levels for at least 1 month, because any money I get in December on the YouTube members, all of it, 100% of it, is going to go to the kids' Wish Foundation for December. And then in January, you can opt out if you want. Other than that, dig deep in your pocket for the W&L show in December, which is going to be done early. It's going to be the Wednesday before Christmas. It's not going to be the last Wednesday in December. It'll be the Wednesday before Christmas. And all super chats, all super stickers on that show will be donated to the Children's Wish Foundation also, along with the YouTube memberships will go. And then if you don't want to do a super chat or super sticker, you can do a one-time donation in the PayPal account. I've already got a bunch. I've written them down in there. I'll probably give credit to those people during the show. And I appreciate each and every one of them. Jerry Bell did it. I don't want to give out too many names, but Jerry Bell did it. He's one. And there's several of them in there that did a one-time donation in a PayPal account. And that PayPal account, on my account anyway, I can't speak for everybody's. I don't know how they set them up, but on my account, very safe, easy peasy, one-time donation if you want, and just do it. I mean, it's for the kids. And how can you say no to some of these children? But anyway, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, here it is. Brian, and my son's bright out here. I'm having a hard time saying it. Brian Schipper, Schipper. Brian Schipper. Thanks for joining, buddy. Appreciate it. Your on the appreciation level, I think that's 99 cents a month. Your 99 cents a month will go in the bank for the kids. Also, let me bring up another little thing. I mean, last year at Christmas, I did a thing where I said, send us your Christmas pics of your pet or ugly Christmas sweater or whatever. Let's do that again this year. That was kind of fun last year. People took pictures. They had their ugly Christmas sweaters on, and they took a picture of it and sent it to me. They had their pets, Christmas pictures of their pets, cats, dogs. I'm trying to think of some strange animals we got. I want to say flying squirrels, I think was one. I think it was a flying squirrel. I can't think of all of them. But yeah, if you got Christmas pictures of your pets or whatever, send them to me. Christmas pictures of, say, your Christmas tree you're putting up, decorating it. I know everybody decorates differently. Some of them have old decorations from their grandparents and great-grandparents that they put on their tree. We do. We have some things in there that my mom, my grandfather, we keep them, and we put them on the tree. Stand in front of the tree if you want to. Take a picture of you and your missus and your dog and your cat and whatever. Just take a nice picture, or two or three, I don't care, and send them to me. And hopefully I'll get enough of them where during the Christmas show, which is actually the December show for the Children's Wish Foundation, but we make it a Christmas show also. I'll be able to do something with those and show them to everybody. I mean, I think they're kind of neat. I really do. I think they're really, really cool. My yard guy mowed today. I can always tell. He's pretty reliable. I've had him now I mowed the grass probably for about the first 2 or 3 years that I was here, and then I realized this is just a big waste of time, me mowing the grass. And so I had him mow. This guy mows my grass now, and edges and all that stuff. He only charges $40 a month. And even during all the gas problems and everything, they've never raised their price on me. But $40, and during the summer months when the grass actually grows here, because remember, we got zoysia grass. It goes dormant in the winter. He mows every Wednesday and edges every Wednesday. Regular clockwork. And then in the wintertime, he mows, like right now, this time of season, about once every 2 weeks. Because the grass doesn't grow hardly at all here. I got zoysia. I don't know what type of zoysia. I can just tell you this type of year, it starts to turn brown, and it's not, it doesn't grow very much. Brakes. Take it down and get some brakes put on it. I'd show you some brown spots, but I don't know if it shows up on the camera to give you an idea. Let me turn this around a minute. Let me show you something. Whoops, turn around. Over there. Let me get my finger out here so you can see. See this area here? Does it show up very well, how it's starting to turn brown? I don't know if it does or not. But anyway, that's what it does. Just slowly but surely, you see little brown spots here and there. And by the time January and February gets here and we get our first nighttime really good cold snap, we've had a couple cold snaps already, nothing big. I think it got down once to like 50 some degrees. Actually, I think we did a porch setting out here when it was 50 some degrees. I think we did. Yeah. And yeah, January, February, though, it's very possible for a few days it might get down into 20s, a hard freeze. And that's really when the zoysia grass says good night, and that'll be the end of it. That's when all the bushes quit growing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm waiting for that. So when that happens, though, he might mow maybe once a month for a couple of months. He'll drive by. He may go around and edge everything to keep the edging looking really nice. And he looks at the grass, and if it doesn't need mowed, he just don't. And I don't know if I'd mow it either. But he did a pretty good job, and he's pretty regular. And I don't have to sign a contract with these people. Everybody's getting to be contract crazy around here. Carrie says hi. There's Jerry. I see he's on here now. I know him. I'm so far behind already. I see I got some of my moderators on here. There's WrestleMania. Tammy Ferguson's on here. Jerry Bell's on here. Before I end this, because I always forget, thank all you moderators for coming on here and helping like this. It just relaxes my mind, as you can imagine, because anymore the porn sites are just hacking everything, it seems like. It's disgusting. I don't like it. But for some reason, it just strikes me as odd. I have sent YouTube a couple of nasty emails. They're liable to throw me off YouTube channel one of these days. But, it's just weird to me is how you can block everybody for talking about this or blocking about that, but you can't block a porn site. And, anyway, that probably went nowhere. Ron says, what's your favorite iced tea? Gold Peak, the green label. I think they have a couple of different labels, and it's all done by color code. But I like the green label. It doesn't have sugar in it. It has, what do they call it? Cane sugar. I think that's what it is. It's that liquid cane sugar. And there's just something about it. I don't know what kind of tea it is. I don't know where they get it. Don't know how they make it. But it's what I call a clean tea. What do I mean by clean tea? It's kind of like some beers. But a clean tea to me is if you hold it up, you can see through it. Pretty clear. A dirty tea to me is when you hold it up and it's cloudy. Lipton tea's that way. It has nothing to do with the taste, have nothing to do with the flavor. It's not that it's bad. I'm not saying that. It's all about me up here mentally. I look at it and it's cloudy. Something tells me that it's not as good. It's not as clean. There's something there. Why is it cloudy? I don't know. But I like the Gold Peak green label. Very clean, very clear. And to me, it has a fabulous flavor, tea flavor. And I've been drinking that for the longest time. And how I discovered that actually was by accident, because I was big on Lipton tea. I drank Lipton all the time. And we were in the motorhome. We were traveling somewhere. Don't remember where. It makes no difference. We've had this motorhome literally all over the United States. We were traveling somewhere, and we got gas somewhere, and we went into a store, and we were I look for these little bottles of tea because they fit in an RV refrigerator really well. And that's the kind of milk we get. I don't buy milk on the road by the gallon. They don't fit in the refrigerator, in an RV refrigerator, very well, at least not mine. I don't have a huge refrigerator. So I get the little bottles of milk, little bottles of iced tea, and we'll buy them, my tea, I'd buy like maybe 6 at a time. I don't like buying big bunch of it because it's storage. You got to store it somewhere. And we was in this place, I can't remember where, and I was looking, and the only tea they had in their refrigerated area was this green or gold peak. I'd never heard of it. And I was looking for this Lipton, couldn't find it. And there was another tea that I drink on the road that's not too bad. I can't think of the name of it either. Might be Lipton. I don't know. Anyway, it comes in a square bottle. It tastes good. I don't mind it, except it's in a square bottle. The square bottle doesn't fit in the round cup holder in my RV. So that's why I stay away from it if I can. So anyway, I seen this gold peak, and I looked at it, and it looked really good in the bottle, nice and clean and clear. And I thought, well, I'll just get that and try it. So I got like 6 bottles or whatever. And we're going down the road, and I had Sue get me one of them back there, and I'm drinking on it. And she said, what do you think? I said, man, this is good. I really like this. I said, when we get home, I wonder if they sell this in Florida. And I think at first they did not. And then one day she went to the store. She came home. She said, guess what I found? And she found this gold peak. Well, of course, down here it comes in, you can't buy a gallon, but you have to buy, it's like, I'll say a half-gallon type size jug. So every time she goes to the store now, she buys all she can get because it disappears. I don't know why it disappears. Are people buying it up because they like it, or is it disappearing because the store doesn't order as many of those? I don't know. But anyway, whenever they got them, she'll buy literally everything that they got and bring it home, and we put them in storage in here. And then I've been hooked on Gold Peak ever since, and that happened a few years ago, but I don't know exactly when. By the way, Wrestler, I saw your video you put up a day or two ago on the new router you got. I think it's from Nexus or something like that, router and everything. I need to talk to you about the setup process on that. And now that you've used it for a little bit, tell me what you think. Have you ever went live on your YouTube channel with it to see how it performs on that? There was parts about the video that I looked at when you started giving facts and figures of the upload speeds and download speeds and all that kind of stuff. That really caught my eye. So I'll give you another couple of weeks, and then I need to talk to you and find out what you think about it, all this kind of stuff, and price. I'm not sure if you put price on that during the your video or not. If you did, I didn't catch it because I was busy editing at the same time you were doing that, and I was kind of just listening. So yeah, I need to talk to you about that. I might be interested in that. I'm not sure yet. Dale McDermott says cold and ground cover snow. Well, where are you from, Dale? Our neighbors over here from Canada, they went back to Canada, I guess, a few days ago. I never really noticed, but I haven't seen a car over there. I haven't seen a garage door open for the last couple of days, so I'm sure they probably went back to Canada. He still works. And this other lady over here, she's like a multi homeowner. I should have done this years ago because I think that was really smart of her to do that. She's got a home like in St. Louis. She has this one. She has one down at Naples. And I think she got another one over here across the street from, maybe 2 over there, across the street from Brownwood, that the retirement community over there. What's it called? Continental Club, Continental Country Club. That's the name of the retirement community. I played golf over there. She got a couple homes over there. She rents some of them out and some of them she don't. I don't know how it all works, but all I know is she's very astute when it comes to property investments. She knows what she's doing. Kelly B is 29 in Kansas City. Well, at least you don't have any snow, I assume. I was watching some YouTube channel yesterday, and they were showing some highway somewhere. Where was that at? The highway. It was a snowstorm. The first major blizzard coming through that area. I'm going to guess probably in Montana, Wyoming area up there somewhere. And yeah, it takes you back when you see stuff like that. It takes you back where you start to recognize stuff. It's like, oh my God, yeah, I remember those days. I have no idea. People are always looking for addresses, and they drive around and they stop. And what they don't realize, or they're not paying attention to, unless they took them down, I haven't. There's a lot of them that ain't. Actually, I think it's part of our deed restriction. You have to keep them up. But if you ever look in the bedroom windows on the front of every home, there's numbers in the corner down there that shine at night. That's the home address right there. That's so the fire department and emergency people can find your house quick and easy at night. And I think that's part of the deed restriction here. You're not supposed to take them down. I suppose if you do, nobody's going to say anything, but I ain't taking mine down because I never know when I may need something. And the quicker they get here, the better I'm going to like it. And I don't want to see an ambulance out here driving up and down this road looking for this house. Kyle Rizzo says, Bill and I went down to Edna's on the Green. Yes, I assume you're talking about Bill B. I don't know that, but anyway, or maybe Bill's your husband and Kylie is the wife. I have to assume all this stuff. I don't know. Mr. Rizzo and I were going to meet one time for lunch, and then he got busy, had to go down to Key West. I think he's got a home down there, and he was up here, and we just haven't got together yet. And now with the WNL show coming up, I got 2 videos in mind I'm going to do. By the way, just so you guys know, my videos on Monday may actually come to a complete halt because I just don't want to go out there and just cut video for the heck of it. You know, I'm not going to play this competing game where your videos are better than that guy's videos, or I like that guy's videos better than your videos. And I mean, I just don't want to play that game. So I'm going to concentrate on what I think is more informative videos on Monday. I have been doing that here lately. We're showing you lanai enclosures, home inspections that I don't get paid for those, but I just show the difference of what I noticed in some of the homes. And maybe homes for sale. Somebody's got a home for sale. If I can do a video of it, I'll put it out there. And then you guys can kind of get an idea of what things are and how much they're going to cost and stuff like that. And, you know, things like that. So there might be Mondays go by where there'll be nothing because I don't have anything. And for me, that's okay with me. I don't do stuff on this channel for money. I mean, I do get money, but I don't do it for money. Because as you guys know, most of the money that I do make on this channel, I've said it before, I've made videos about it before, is I have 2 choices. And I'm on a fixed income. So I have 2 choices. Either keeping records of this money, which they've turned it into a business now. The government has, not me. I have to now. I have to keep record of what I make and what I... Here's what I'm talking about. Look at this. I don't know. Mostly visitors. I have no idea who that is. I've never seen that golf cart before. And it's not that it makes any difference. But they got riding around in their golf cart. And they're looking for addresses. And you guys couldn't tell what she was doing, but I could. Google Maps. She's using Google Maps in a golf cart to find someplace. Now, when you get into a neighborhood like this, You actually can do that. Google Maps will take you to the house. But here's the problem with Google Maps. And I've mentioned this over and over again. Unless you know the secrets around here, you can't use Google Maps on your phone in a golf cart, because sometimes you're sharing the road with cars in your golf cart. Google Maps will work on that road. It's a public road. But if you get on a long golf cart path that's not on the road, unless it's following that road, Google Maps does not know what a golf cart trail is. It doesn't recognize a golf cart. It recognizes cars. And so that'll get you screwed up. These people, they get caught all the time. You'll hear it in the news all the time. Here's a scenario. A guy gets pulled over because he's driving his golf cart on Highway 466. He's on 466. It's 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. Cop pulls him over. Well, what are you doing out here? You're not street legal. He knows how you're not street legal. You ain't got license plates, so he knows you're not street legal. Well, the guy says, well, I got lost. I was heading home. Went to the square, and I was heading home. Well, the cop's talking to you. He smells beer on your breath. That's probable cause. I've been drinking. I had 2 beers. That's the way it always says. Had 2 beers. Well, I need you to come out here to do a walk. What do they call that? A sobriety check or whatever. Now the excuses happen. Well, I had an operation on my knee. Whatever. Well, I've got some weird jungle fungus in my brain, and so my balance is off. I mean, it's just all kinds of stuff. Well, he'd been drinking, so he's using his phone for Google. He tells the cop, he said, "Well, I've had my Google Maps, and it told me to go this way." That's how he got caught. Google Maps. So if you're going out and having a beer or whatever you want to do, I say 2 things. One is know how to get home, because them golf cart trails at night do not look the same. Some of the golf cart trails, you may not even see them. They're not lit up at night, so you may not even see them. You may forget how you even got there. So now you get your phone out. You go to Google Maps. Google Maps says, go out here on 441 and turn right, because it recognizes cars, not golf cart paths. And next thing you know, you're pulled over by the cops, and it's like, what are you doing out here? So please, just to protect yourself, kind of recognize where the golf cart trail is. It's kind of like going to Disney World. When you go to Disney World, they have all these parking spots, like Goofy, and you're in row, G2 for Goofy 2. You have to kind of memorize that because the parking lot is so big that you won't find your car at the end of the day. Ask me how I know that. That happened to us once. Oh my God, that was a nightmare. WrestleMania says, remember to click the thumbs up. That helps. And it says, hit the subscribe button. That's a big one, man. Hit the subscribe button. By the way, for those of you that are new here, new to YouTube, maybe just kind of learning how to kind of get around a little bit, subscribe is free on this channel. It doesn't cost you a stinking dime to subscribe. The only thing that does, hopefully, you hit the subscribe, then an option thing will come up, and then you hit the bell. That's the notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever I post something new, or if I go live, that kind of thing. And then I think the other option will be is all or something. Just hit all. That way, anytime I put up a video, you'll get notified on all of them. Supposedly, if YouTube does what they're supposed to do. Kevin K says 29 degrees in Fort Wayne, expecting a high of 56. Well, 56 ain't bad for this time of year. 29 is kind of, But you Indiana people, you're tough. You're used to that kind of thing. You got the snow blowers. You got the sidewalk salt in your garage. I know you got a bag in there. So the ones that I think of, and it's just hard for me to imagine living in an area that this happens, well, I won't say this bad, but it happens every year, several times a year with Buffalo. Gee, many Christmas. I felt so sorry for them people up there. I know they're used to it. I know, they got the stuff to get it done, and they're kind of geared up for that kind of thing. But still, life goes on no matter what. What'd they get? It was a record this time for this early in the year. They got 7 feet in some areas of snow. 7 feet at one time. That's like going to bed at night and then getting up the next day and your whole front door is covered in snow. You can't even get out of your house. That's I don't know, man. That's people were scraping snow off their roof because the weight of the snow on their roof was causing some houses to collapse. I don't know. That's just to me that would keep me up all night. I could not put up with that. I'd have to get up, have coffee, watch TV. Every 2 hours, I'd probably walk outside, start my snowblower up, and blow everything off. I'd be on the roof of the house or have something to keep the snow on my roof of my house, at least down to safe levels, whatever that would be. I'd be up all night. I just couldn't do it. Tammy Ferguson says, afternoon. Yes, it is. And it's a nice afternoon, Tammy. Very nice. Temperature's good. I hope you ain't getting a lot of wind in my mic. I don't think you are, but I'm just looking around. Oh, update on the police ride around. It just hit me. Eric sent me, the chief of police sent me an email about a week ago, maybe. Apparently, and thank you, whoever you are. Apparently, somebody, a subscriber of mine that lives, I don't know where he lives, around here somewhere, Fruitland Park maybe, I don't know. And he saw Eric, and he had made mention to him about doing this police ride-along thing. I had forgotten all about it because I figured, well, they're busy. Maybe he checked into it and found out there's some kind of legality there that, or maybe, as far as I know, maybe the police officer driving the car, the actual officer himself, none of them wanted to volunteer to let me ride along. Maybe they just didn't want to do it. Nobody could force them. And so I could understand that. So I just kind of let it go. I didn't worry about it. Well, he sent me an email saying somebody had stopped by or they saw him and they was talking to him and reminded him of the promise he made about this police ride along. And so he sent me an email saying, I haven't forgot. He said, we'll get it done. He said, but he just wanted to let me know it probably won't be till at least the first of the year because I'm sure they got things they got to get situated, done. Maybe they got to call the city attorney. I don't know what's going on. But I did get an email about it. And so whenever they decide to let me do it, and there's another question I've got that I need to really talk to Eric. Am I supposed to be in this car for a whole shift, 8 hours? That's a long time. I mean, I just want to get some good video of this police ride along, something kind of interesting. Here's what I'm hoping for. I know I'm sick, right? I'm hoping that we have a busy day where I get involved in a police chase where they're chasing somebody down for whatever reason. Yeah, stuff like that. That's what I want. Will we get it? I don't know. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's going to tell them, hey, look, if we have a code, this or that, you're not involved because you're going to have a ride along, and I don't want to take any chances of anything happening, so you can't come. I don't know what they're going to do. All I know is I just know that's what I was kind of hoping for. Laura says, greetings from suburban Chicago. It's 26 degrees there. Is that your daytime high? 26 degrees? Woo! Elizabeth Malbury says, driving my truck in Missouri, windy and cold. Semi-truck? I mean, are you working? Or just a four-wheel drive pickup truck? I mean, I don't know what truck means. I know that with UPS, you guys ain't going to believe this or not, it was mandatory for everybody to show up on their shift and go to work. Weather had nothing to do with it. You had to, what they call, and the way I understand it, it was in our contract. I don't know about today because they sold that company to a company in Canada. The UPS company, part of the UPS company that I worked for, they sold that company to Canada. But when I worked there, you had to make, and it was in our union contract, I believe, you had to make what's called an attempt. You had to make an attempt. Well, I didn't know what the word attempt meant. What are you talking about? Attempt. I mean, does that mean I got to attempt to get out of my driveway at my house to get here? And they said, no, you are required to show up here, clock in, and then you ought to get in your truck and you have to make an attempt to go do your route. I said, well, how far do I have to go? Down to the exit ramp and get off? I mean, they said, you have to make an honest attempt. And at that time, we had a terminal manager. He decided that something like, what was it? It was like 50 miles had to be an attempt. Now, I'm in the middle of a blizzard here. Ice all over the place, wind blowing, snow drifting everywhere, and I'm in a tractor. You guys don't understand, I know. A single axle tractor. The worst thing in the world with pups. Worst thing in the world, worst combination in the world to be on a slick road. The worst. And I went all the way down to the Knightstown exit. I could not stop at the exit ramp because it was so slick. And I just kept looking both ways. I know this isn't going to make a lot of you happy, but I ran that stop sign so I wouldn't have to stop. Because if I stopped, I was dead in the water. Went up and over to the truck stop. There's a truck stop there. Went inside, because we didn't have cell phones back then. Went inside, called our dispatch. I told them where I was at. And I said, I can't make it any further. This is terrible here. Here's what they said. Is there a hotel there? I said, no, there's no hotel here. It's Knightstown, Indiana. It's farming. There's nothing here. It's just this little truck stop. He said, well, I can't approve you to go back yet. I said, why not? He said, well, you have to give us a chance. Give you a chance for what? Well, we don't know what's going to happen on the road. They may come down through there and scrape them roads off and you'll be okay to go. I said, no, I'm not. This is a blizzard. I'm telling you, this is a UPS. This is how they are. So I turned around, went back, and then I told him, I said, if you want to fire me, fire me. I don't care. I am not driving in this stuff anymore. I'm done with this. You guys are putting my life and other people's lives at risk by doing this. I am simply refusing to do it. And I got pissed off and went home. And I got called to the terminal manager's office like the next day when things got kind of back to normal, saying that he said, I could fire you because you, what they call that when you refuse to do an order. Anyway, what it's called. So I called the union guy right there, and he came right in, and he just says, you want to fire him? That's up to you. You go ahead. He said, but we're going to stand up for him. He said, you have not got the right to put his life and other people's lives at risk to get your freight delivered. He said, that's wrong. He says, and we're going to take it to task. Nothing was ever said after that. So one good reason why you need some kind of protection in a good company or even a bad company because of games they will play. Howdy, Skip from Covington, Georgia. Howdy, Rick. By the way, if you are driving a semi-truck in Missouri, if the roads are slick there, just be careful. Skip just woke up. Sue been up half a day already. Yeah, I'm sure of it. She gets up around 5:30 in the morning. She goes walking. I didn't go to bed last night till I think it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and doing things, downloading pictures for the WNL show, trying to get some kind of a script for me together. I have to have stuff in writing in front of me to keep me moving because I'll forget what I want to do next. And so I have to refer to this thing. It's, the whiteboard. Anyway. So, yeah, I try to get something in my mind about when do I bring this person on? When do I bring this person on? And stuff like that. So I do have one surprise guest. I haven't told anybody about him. And we'll see how that goes. I got this idea anyway that I kind of like the idea. Well, I'll tell you what the surprise guest is. I won't tell you the name or anything, but the surprise, I asked about this about 2 months ago. And it's funny how a lot of people just, I don't know, man. I just don't get it. Maybe it's because I'm just used to being in front of a camera, so it doesn't bother me that much. But I put out there saying, I would love to get some people that are fairly new to the villages, fairly new, or people that lived in the villages and now they're moving out to go somewhere else for whatever the reasons are. And I don't care. I'm not going to pick on you. I'm just, other people are interested. What did you not like about it? I mean, because maybe it's something they never thought of. That's all. And I said, any of you that'd be interested in coming on live, and it doesn't have to be live at all. I can call you up on my system and we'll talk like this, one-to-one. Just imagine this being live and you're the only person watching me and I'm the only person watching you. And I can record it. And then I can also edit it. So if I slip, and I've been known to do this, I'll slip and say a cuss word. I can actually cut that out, if it's not appropriate, and things like that, to make it more viewable. So if you are fairly new, if you have moved out to another community or decided to buy in another community for whatever your reasons are, and you've been watching the Villages channels down here, I'd be interested in having you come on live, take 10 or 15 minutes, and explain yourself. That's all. Yeah, explain yourself. What made you decide to do what you're doing? Price of homes? Is the Villages too big? And the other place was not that big? Just whatever your reasons are. That's all. And anyway, this guy, it is a guy, and he contacted me and said he would love to come on and do that. Well, 2 months ago, something came up. I forget what it was, and we couldn't do it. And then last month, I had a guest last month. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, couldn't do it. This month, Ira's going to be our main guest, our main speaker, so to speak. But it's going to be different. I got something in my mind anyway. We'll see how it works out. So anyway, I got a hold of this guy and said, hey, would you be interested in coming on for 10 or 15 minutes and talking about your experiences here of why you decided to buy here? And this guy was really open about it. He said, yeah, I'd love to do it. So I've already had a systems check with him. I've talked to him like I'm talking to you right now. It's just me and him. It's a systems check. I want to make sure his lighting is good. You don't have to have anything fancy. It's good, but we got to be able to see you, and we got to be able to hear you. And so that's what the systems check's all about. Make sure we can see you, make sure we can hear you, because you'll be surprised how many people, they turn their computer on, I get them on here, and I can't hear them. Their microphone on their computer is turned off, and they have to go inside their settings to turn that microphone back on. And so I want to get all this out of the way so when the show happens, this doesn't happen during the show. Because as you all know, we have enough glitches without having more glitches. So anyway, I've already had a system check with this person. He knows how to sign on. He knows how to do it all. I'm going to bring this person on, and he's going to give you his side of why he is here. And if you're interested in doing something like that, email me. Let me know, seriously, because I need to know, and I have to have your email. I have to have your email. That's the only way I can invite you on this system, is by your email. And I don't save stuff. I don't save phone numbers. I don't save emails, any of that stuff. Ask anybody that's won anything on the WNL show. The last thing we tell them is, send me your mailing address. And you'd be surprised how many people's won a couple of times. They'll say, well, I already sent it to you once. That means nothing. Once I send you that prize, your email, deleted. It's gone. I don't save that stuff. So your privacy with me is very well protected. Why? Because my brain is about that long and I don't remember nothing. Laura says she's using a vacation day today. Ruck Gardinger. Hey, bud. How you doing, man? Sam Z says front porch is always better, seeing what's going on. There ain't much going on right now. Let me turn it around again so you can see. Typical. As you can see, nothing. Quiet. Nothing. Quiet. That's the way I like it. Somebody made a comment a while back, and it was a legit comment. It was legit. He said, I've checked out a lot of retirement communities in Florida, and he says, and the Villages is no different. He said, you never see nobody out and about. Everything looks dead. Like nobody does anything but just sit in the house all day long and just wait to die. I know that in some cases it looks that way, but I'm here to tell you it's not. This is probably one of the most active adult communities. Don't you just love that word, adult communities? This is one of the most active retirement communities I've ever been in. I'm not saying the only one, but a lot of them are like what you said. And Sue and I, when we were looking, we probably been to 50 different, and I ain't kidding you not, 50 different retirement communities all over the state of Florida. It started all the way down by Miami, and we came up the western seaboard. I've never wanted anything on the eastern side, so we came up the western side and hit every town as you can imagine, the different islands, the coastal communities, Sarasota, Fort Myers being two of the major ones. We all of them, Tampa area, St. Pete area, and we were talking about buying, or keep in mind, back then I wanted to be a snowbird. So that's what we were looking at. And what changed my mind about anywhere on the West Coast was I believe it was Hurricane Harvey that hit the Punta Gorda. You have to go back on Google and check it out back in the day. And we went down to check Punta Gorda out because we had kind of narrowed it down to where Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte area was an area we were seriously looking at. And at the time, I really wasn't looking into a retirement community there. I was looking at just buying a nice little, I don't know, I told Sue back then, I said, oh, a nice little 2-bedroom home down here would probably be fine for us. Come down here 6 months out of the year. I don't need 3, 4, 5 bedrooms. And that was my thinking back then. So we were looking. Well, when we went down after that hurricane and I saw that town and Port Charlotte and how it looked, and I knew what it looked like before. That's the key, knowing what it looked like before, knowing what was sitting there or what was sitting over here. And that was an eye-opener. I mean, I know hurricane causes problems. We all know that. We all know the high tide is what really caused a lot of the damage, the wind. But I'd never seen a coastal city hit with all that. The wind, the high tide, just all that, the flooding. And we went into town literally probably, and how we even got in town, I don't even remember, because generally they block everything off because of looters. But it was probably maybe, I'll say, a week after the hurricane, and a lot of the cleanup was going on. It was devastating. And I told Sue, I said, I'm done. I'm not moving in the coastal. I'm not doing it. And even though both of us, and everybody else does, everybody says, oh, I love living by the beach. Well, yeah, you do. Yeah, we all do. The point that you have to think about is I told Sue, I said, do you want to have a house here and at the age of 80? Because we don't know when the next hurricane's coming or when it's going to hit here or there. And you're 80 years old, and can you imagine this kind of devastation when you're 80 years old and have to clean up after all this and do all this work? I said, no, I'm not doing this. Not doing it. So we decided to go inland. And how did we decide that? Well, I told Sue, I said, you know, Disney World is in the middle of the state. And Disney World has been through a lot of hurricanes. And Disney World has a lot of stuff there that's high up in the air that could be devastated with damage. And yet, they're there, and their damage is always minimal. Always minimal. So we just got to looking around, and we found 3 different places in the mid part of Florida that interested me and Sue. One was Solavita. That's down by Orlando area. It's kind of like a small retirement community like this, but it's kind of like an Italian, what do you want to call it, scheme about it. And it was very nice. I don't know what it's like today. I'm talking, golly, geez, we're probably talking back in the late 80s or whatever we looked down there. And then the next one up was the Villages. We came here, of course, and we looked at a lot of stuff here. Back then, it was only one town square, Spanish Springs. And the whole atmosphere and the feeling of the Villages with only one town square is altogether different than what you have today. I can't hardly explain that to you, but it was totally different. And to be honest with you, I liked it much better back then when it was just a one town square. Maybe two when Lake Sumter was there. Maybe the two was okay. But now to me, this has gotten totally out of hand with what's going on. So somebody asked me once, would you buy again? If it was like it is right now, to be honest with you, no. I'd buy somewhere else. Because I just don't like the crowds. I don't like crowds. I don't like the traffic that's involved here. I don't like the idea that the 55 plus here doesn't really mean 55 plus. I just don't like it. I don't like that rules can be bent totally out of shape and there's nobody really around to enforce them. That's the kind of stuff that bothers me. Maybe not you, but it bothers me. And then the other one was on top of the world. I looked at it, very nice. The part on top of the world, there was two things back then. Today it's different. But back then, the two things that bothered me was, one, I wanted to get back into golf. That was the main thing for me. They had one 18-hole golf course up there at that time. That's all. Plus, I had to pay, I think it was like, I want to say $1,800 a year. You had to buy a membership in order to play. Even though you're a resident, you had to pay to play. Here, you have to pay to play on the country clubs too, but you get a resident discount. I'm not saying that's the only reason, but they have all these executive courses here as a resident that basically, if you want to walk the course, they're absolutely free. They don't cost you nothing. $0. Most people want to drive their golf cart. I did. Well, if you pay for each executive, it's $4 per person in your golf cart to ride. But most people don't do that. They go down to any of the regional rec centers and you show them your resident ID card, and you buy a yearly pass. Huge discount. I don't know what it is now, but back in the day when I had mine, it was $144 a year to have what they call a trail pass for your golf cart. So I never had to pay anything except $144. I was playing 5 days a week, $4 each time you play. That's $20 a week. You can do the math for a year. $140 is the way to go. Well, there is like $1,800 a year to play, period. And so and then they had a thing back then to where you did not own the land underneath the home that you were buying. It was like a 99-year lease thing. Now, keep in mind, I'm new to Florida. I didn't understand that. There's something about my old Indiana mind that says, how can I own a house and not the dirt underneath of it? It just didn't sound right to me. I understand by talking to people, they have a new area down there now that's different. That the old 99-year lease thing, they took care of all the maintenance of the yard and maybe some other stuff too. I don't know all the details. Now you can buy them and you own the dirt, but you can take care of your own yard. And I'm not sure what the rules are about that. There has to be rules. I know a lot of people say, I would never live in an area that has a HOA involved. I want to set the rules straight on that too. Here in the villages, we do have an HOA. It's voluntary. You do not have to join this HOA. That being said, the HOA is separate from district rules. We are monitored here. We are governed here by your district rules. That's why I tell everybody, get your district rules before you buy, read them, make sure you can live with it. If you can't, you need to move on because that's what we're governed by. One of the things that our district rules are, we are a complaint-based community. What that means is you can break a rule. They do it all the time. If nobody complains, nothing gets done. If one person complains, that's when they come in and say, you broke a rule, you have to rectify this situation. That's why you get into this argument saying, why do I have to take my statue out of my flower bed because it's considered to be yard ornament in the most rural districts? You are not allowed to have yard decorations. Having a bird stuck in your flower bed is considered to be a yard decoration. And they say, well, you got to move it because we had a complaint. Well, the guy across the street has one. They don't make him take it out. That's because nobody complained about that guy across the street. Complaint-based community. I think people get that so mixed up. That's why I try to alert people. This happens all the time too. I bought this pre-owned home. I get a complaint. They come to the new owner. He hasn't lived in the house a month. I'm just using this as an example. So you got to move that rock. You can't have that rock there because it's in an easement, and you can't have it there. The guy says, well, that was there when I bought the house. I didn't put it there. Makes no difference. You now own the house. You are subject to district rules. And if that rock was in there and it's not supposed to be there, now you are responsible for removing the rock. And I just bring this up, not because I'm trying to downgrade the villages. I'm not trying to make it sound like a bad place to live. I bring it up because these are things that happen down here. It seems like every week somewhere. And I know the new people moving in aren't aware of it. And I can only hope that they're watching my channel so they're alerted to these things. If you're going to buy a pre-owned home and you're working with a realtor somewhere, whoever it may be, and you see things that you're not too sure about, because you may not be sure about it, you're new. What do you know, right? Everybody's this way. I didn't know. Question them. Get the realtor out there. Say, hey, is that allowed to be there? Because I know about district rules here. That's why I say read your district rules. And is that fence allowed? Because that's not part of this property. Well, you can put up a fence till somebody complains, and then they're going to make you take it down. So just question those things. He's the realtor. It's his job to find out. And when he tells you, oh, that's been approved, they can give you a copy of it because it's easy for them to do that. I have copies of everything that ARC approved for me, including this thing in front of my house. All that's been approved. Just get a copy of it. Just cover your butt. That should be a t-shirt of mine. Cover your butt. Okay, what else have we got? I've probably been rambling on way too long. Never heard of that company before. Patriot, what? Service and repair. It looks like swimming pools and heaters things. Yeah, Patriot. Never heard of it. How was the chicken and noodles? How about the Cherry's Jubilee? Well, first of all, Cherry's Jubilee's gone. There is no more. Sue made a Cherry's, you can't see my hand. It was in a big, I don't even call it a pie dish. We might as well call it a pie dish, but it's not a pie. It's not a round pie dish. It's a big oblong square thing that you actually could use to make lasagna in, those big square. She made a Cherry's Jubilee that big. Linda had some, Roy had some, I had some, Sue had some. The mistake we made, because trying to cook everything at Thanksgiving and everything, was actually after you make it, you're really supposed to refrigerate it for a couple of hours so it sets up, you know what I mean? That way you can cut it like a pie and take it out and put it on a plate, and it looks nice, it looks presentable. Well, she made it, it was never refrigerated, and when you're trying to cut it, it all just kind of falls apart. It all tastes the same, but it just, when you put it on your plate, it just looks like a pile of goo, you know. So anyway, I have to apologize to Linda and them for the way it looked, but it tastes fine. I like it. I don't know if they liked it or not, because I don't think Linda and Roy likes to eat a lot of sweet stuff, and this Cherry Jubilee's on the sweet side. It's kind of like cheesecake, kind of like. And but I liked it. My chicken and noodles are gone. The only thing that's left in there are things that I really don't care about eating, really. She made some kind of turkey dressing. I'm not going to eat that. It'll end up getting thrown out. And then she made some other kind of something. I forget what it was now. But whatever it was, I'm probably, ham. She did a baked ham. I had one or two pieces of it. The next day I had a couple pieces with some eggs for lunch. I know it's breakfast food, right? But hey, I'll eat an egg and ham and stuff like that for lunch once in a while. And so I did. That's it. I ain't had any more. So I'm just going to take a guess that a lot of that ham's going to get frozen or it's going to get tossed, one or the other. I'm not a big ham eater. I'm not a big turkey eater. Never have been. I don't care for turkey at all, really. I can eat it when I have to. I just don't like to have to. Ham, at one time, I used to love ham. I eat the crap out of it. But my taste buds, I think, has changed. There are certain things that I did not like in the past that now I do. And there are certain things that I used to love in the past that now I can just take it or leave it. Ham's one of them. One of the things I used to never eat, never, ever, ever eat, and now I really like is asparagus, believe it or not. Cooked asparagus. She'll put them on the grill or she'll put them in the oven and cook them till they get like kind of a crispy thing on the outside a little bit and put a little, I don't know, butter on them, I guess, or whatever. And I eat the heck out of them. Go figure. Richard says, weather at Virginia Beach is nice. I've been to Virginia Beach. Had the motorhome up there. When was it? A couple years ago? 3 years ago? We went to Virginia Beach, and then we toured that whole area right there, all the way up to Washington and including parts of Washington, D.C. Man, the traffic up there, at least when we were there, oh my God, it was just unbelievable how the traffic up there, even on the side roads. Of course, you know, any place you go anymore, early morning rush, afternoon rush, no matter where you go, it's just unbelievable. You ever get the feeling that sometimes that I think we're overpopulating our country? And I'm not sure why. It's just, you know, we used to years ago, even in my semi truck, we had trucker hours. And we knew that everybody was in bed. The highways were pretty well open up for truck traffic. And we just eased down the road, never hardly hit our brakes for 500 miles, just cruised. Now, 3 o'clock in the morning, you go through Atlanta, Georgia, and there could be a traffic jam. It's just crazy to me. Yeah, I did, Jerry. I invited my dad. I tell Ira all the time. I don't get on his show very often because I can't help but picking on him, and I don't want to mess up his timing on his show. The questions, because I know what it's like to sit behind the camera and you're looking at these things, and maybe you're making a little note down here that nobody sees, and of the next subject, of the next question you want to tackle, and so I don't want to get in the way, but I get on there once in a while and I'll tell all his subscribers that are there, I'll say, Ira's like a dad to me. And actually, I think I might be older than him. I'm not sure. I don't know who that guy is either. Never saw that golf cart here at all. A lot of our houses in this neighborhood has already been turned over. I think the last time I checked, there was like 660 homes in the villages of Hillsboro. And Hillsboro is actually two sections. There's one way over there on the other side of Evans Prairie, and then there's this one on this side of Evans Prairie. We call this the peninsula because there's only one way in basically, and it circles around, and one way out. So in our area, if I had to take a guess, let's divide it in half. There's 300 and some homes in here, and probably at least half of those homes have been turned over to new owners already. Some of them are on the third owner already. It just never ends. Cyber Monday. Yeah, that's it. I was talking about Black Friday, and now it's Cyber Monday. And these are all business, I'll call them scams, you know. And boy, they've done a good job of it. They really have. I mean, whoever came up with this idea of how to do this and how to promote it has done one hell of a good job. Cyber Mondays. What is that? And then Black Friday. There are some deals, I suppose, but still, I mean, I don't see it because I don't shop. I wouldn't go at 5 o'clock in the morning to any Walmart store or anything else. I don't care what the savings are. I would not do it. That's just me. I'm not doing that because it's turning us into a bunch of animals, disrespectful animals. I'm not doing it. And I see some YouTube things. I'm sure this happens really, you know, not really all that often, where people are fighting over stuff. The store comes out with a skid and sets it down of whatever it is, a TV they got on sale or whatever. And people are literally pushing each other out of the way to get their TV off of that skid. What the hell's the matter with you? I don't know. I just can't see me doing that. Sherry Howard says, first time here. Well, welcome, Sherry. I do this every Wednesday when I can. I just call it Porch Settin. All this started by accident. I'll give you a little short version of how this started. I was sitting around the house. I used to do videos 5, 6 days a week here about the villages. At the time, I was the only full-time YouTuber here. Only. There was none other. And I was sitting out here one day. I don't know. I was just kind of, we just got this awning put in, I think, and I was just looking around. And I was kind of bored, and I had my cell phone. And I just thought, I think I'll go live, just for the heck of it, just to see who's out there. And I used to do this a lot. You can ask any of them here that follow me for a long time. I used to call it surprise live. I never scheduled anything. I just pop up whenever. And so I did one, and I just said on the video, I think I just said, well, I just kind of sitting out here on our new front porch because we had the bushes tore out, and had this, I don't know what you call it, block put in and awning, kind of make it like a little front porch here. I was sitting out here on the porch doing a little bit of porch setting, and thought you guys might enjoy seeing what I'm looking at out here on an average day. And I had my cell phone in my hand. The video wasn't that good. It wasn't steady. I was shaky and kind of showing it. And I got so many comments about that they said they really, really enjoyed just like a one-on-one thing of sitting out here. And I don't even know how long I've been doing it now, but I've been doing it like every Wednesday. So we had to come up with a basic kind of time. So I just said noonish. I don't like to have any exact time because on WNL we have an exact time. And I don't like that. So I said, we're going to start this on noonish on Wednesday. And as long as people are coming, I'll keep doing it. But when I see the numbers drop off, that'll be when I'll start thinking about not doing it anymore and come up with something else. So anyway, I've been doing it ever since. Also on our front porch setting about once a month, there's a Villages magazine that comes out. I get them free because Sue gets the Villages newspaper, which is owned by the developer, by the way. That's why they call it the happy paper. He won't post anything in that paper if it looks like it could somehow affect home sales. Like he won't talk about sexual predators moving in or anything. He won't talk about that. That's why I do the news. So anyway, and I get this magazine free. Well, I don't read that magazine anymore. I mean, I'm here. I just don't read it anymore. And Sue, she'll take a glance through it, but she don't read it either. So once a month, I'll give it away. I'll pay the shipping, and I just give it away. And you have to be on here live in order to do that, because I tell you what to do in order to get that magazine. And if you're not here during the live show, then you won't know what to do. So, and I want to give one away. Once in a while, I give other stuff away just for the heck of it, just because I think it's fun. And, I've got a book in there that was given to me a long time ago. I've never done anything with it. It's about the village. Well, no, it ain't. It's about the boomers, the boomer retirees, the baby boomers. And I think it's about retiring in Florida. I've really never read this whole thing. It's brand new. It's about a year old, but I've never done anything with it. It just lays in there. And I thought about giving that away. Thought maybe somebody might be interested in what the book has to say about boomers and retiring to Florida and some of the things to look out for and this and that. I mean, I've got all kinds of things in my head that I know people talk about. I don't discuss it all that much because I'm not a realtor. And I think a lot of that information should be given to realtors. The reason why I don't discuss it that much is because even on the homes that I post and for sale, that somebody's selling it, trying to sell it, I try to help them out a little bit by posting everything I can. And I tell you on the video 2 and 3 times, I'm not a realtor. I just show you the house and what information the people give me about this house. If you have any questions about the house, you need to contact them or contact a realtor, whoever is here. It doesn't make any difference how many times I say that. All of a sudden, I start getting all these questions. Well, what's your property taxes? Once again, I'm not a realtor. You need to contact them. And then sometimes I get nasty comments saying, well, if you're going to show the house, it just seems to me you ought to tell us everything about it, or otherwise your videos are useless. I get them. So generally, I will send them one back saying, well, thanks for watching my useless video. I appreciate it. And that's how I answer them back. Because I don't know, how many times you got to tell people, I don't sell houses. But in the video, we'll have a phone number to who to contact. It'll have a real estate company's name or whatever in there. And that's who you need to contact about these questions. You can do it with email. You can do it with all kinds of ways. Don't contact me. I have too much stuff to do around here. I'm trying to answer comments of people that comment about one of my videos, what they liked, what they didn't like, and those are the ones I really concentrate on. I don't concentrate on answering a lot of real estate questions on a house that I'm not even selling. Small Business Saturday. Mr. P says, is there such a thing as Small Business Saturday? Is that something new? Are we starting that now? Good Lord. KM says, Merry Christmas, Sue. She's not here. She's at ladies' lunch somewhere. I don't know where it is. KM says, Giving Tuesday. We have a Giving Tuesday? Really? Good Lord. And Diego says, Broke Wednesday. I can relate to that one. Excuse me for coughing. Just hit me. I was telling you about Sue's got this new appliance stuff coming, and they're delivering that Thursday. We have Wednesday Night Live tomorrow. No, tonight. So Thursday tomorrow. They're delivering that tomorrow. And also, I have a 9:30 a.m. doctor appointment tomorrow. I generally don't do anything early except one thing, and that's when I have to give blood. Go to the labs. Because from midnight on, I'm not allowed to drink or eat anything except water, I think. I think she said I could have black coffee. Nah, that ain't me. So I want to be able to have my coffee in the morning and whatever. So I try to make those appointments fairly early. So I'm guessing the 9:30 a.m. Thursday is going to be labs. I don't know when they're supposed to deliver this stuff either. That's why I said it's just going to be busy. And then I got Friday news coming out. It's, just a lot of stuff going on this week. KM says broke December. Yeah, that's the way it usually is. Broke December. Not so much for me and Sue right now as far as being broke in December like it used to be when we had grandkids and kids and everybody came to the house. And we kind of miss those really on Christmas especially and Thanksgiving. That's probably the two main ones I would think. No, when our granddaughters were little, Easter was a big deal. I had about an 1.5 acre yard or something like that. And days before, all the grandkids would come down wherever we lived. And we hid Easter eggs around the house, and we hid little prizes, little gifts, around the house. And they'd find them and all this and that. And then Sue, every year, took all the granddaughters out shopping, and she bought them new Easter outfits every year. And I can remember that. We kind of miss the family things that we did. Christmas was a big one. Mom and Dad were still alive. My sister lived by Mom and Dad, and so they would get her and bring her over too. All the grandkids would show up. At that time, we had 4, because I think the 5th one wasn't born yet. We had 4, plus me and Sue, and plus all the kids were married. They weren't divorced yet, so And so we had a house full. And of course, everybody's bringing their truckload of gifts over. And we had a truckload of gifts. And we had a room downstairs at that house up in Hartford City. And that was kind of our Christmas room. It was a big room. I think it was supposed to be designed for a game room. You know, like you could put a pool table down there, a ping pong table down there, and all this and that. We just made it I don't know who that was. We just made a TV room with a bunch of seating around it, and it became a Christmas room. That's where we went and opened all the gifts. That's where all the wrapping paper ended up being and all that stuff. So yeah, we kind of missed that Christmas dinners and things. But down here, we just make the best of it. Our neighborhood will have usually a pitch-in thing over at the rec center for Christmas. I don't go to them anymore either because half our neighborhood, I don't know who they are. I just don't go anymore. And another one is this one guy back here. He's a real dick. He pissed me off to the point where I don't go to anything to where he might be there. Not because he bothers me or scares me in any way. I just know me and my temper. And he's going to say something stupid, and I'm going to end up going to jail. So I just stay away from him, and that's a fact. Who said I got mad? KM? Who said I got mad? There's things that upset me. But I mean, if it upsets me, you'll be the first to know. I don't hide it. I don't soft soap anything. I just tell you how it is. Take it or leave it. If if all you want to hear about the villages is all the happy stuff that goes on around here, those are easy to find. You can find them everywhere. You know, you'll find people all the time, man and a wife, and their pet dog. You know, that's called clickbait. I don't do that. There's all kinds of stuff you can find, but it's hard to find all the. I'm just trying to give you enough information. I'm not downtrodden this place. Hey, look, I live here. I'm not going anywhere for a while, so it ain't that bad. It's just that there's just things here that ain't right, and I don't know how I can get district rules or something to come up and straighten this stuff out, because I know it can be straightened out because I know other 55 plus communities that don't allow this stuff. So I know it can be stopped here. But hey, as long as people are buying houses faster than they can build them, I don't see anything changing. How old is my dishwasher? Well, I've been in this house since November of 2014. We bought it in October, but I didn't start moving in until November. And we really didn't use that dishwasher for the longest time because just two of us. So if we had a cup of coffee, we'd rinse our cup out and set it aside. If we'd have a soup and a sandwich or something, we just kind of rinse our dishes and stuff off and set it aside. It wasn't that big of a deal. And then somebody told us once, you need to really start using that dishwasher once in a while, or otherwise the seals and things in it will start to dry rot and crack. Oh, that made sense. I said, okay. So about, I don't know, you have to ask Sue. I'll say once a week maybe, or maybe once a month. I don't even know. We'd run a whole dishwasher load of stuff, and that kept the dishwasher going. And it still works fine. The dishwasher's fine. The only thing that went bad was our stove went bad twice in 4 years. We got rid of it. We got a new stove. And then our microwave now, this is the second microwave we've had in 8 years. And it don't work. It quit working about, 2 or 3 weeks ago. Just quit. And the dishwasher's fine. We have no problem with it. No leak. It works. It goes through its cycles. Everything works fine. But she wanted everything to match. So she just bought a whole new kitchen of everything. Be delivered tomorrow. I'm going to take the dishwasher out, put it out in the garage. And I don't know. Maybe we can sell it for a few dollars, beer money, $50 or something. Or if not, then I'll write it off on my taxes, because we'll see about donating it to some charitable organization if we can, because it does work fine. Actually, before I take it out, I think I'm going to do a video of it working to show people, because once I take it out, I can't show you. To show you that when I take it out, it's working fine. And the refrigerator, I think I'm going to keep and put it in the garage. But this leads to another dilemma. Are you following my stories here? I have two smaller refrigerators. You know what I'm talking about. One's out in Lanai, and I keep my beer in it. And the other one's in the garage. And we keep our soda pop and stuff in there, Cokes, Pepsis, and things like that for the grandkids and things when they show up, or if you want a mixed drink, it's all out there. Well, if I put the refrigerator out there, I can put everything in that one refrigerator. All my beer, all the Cokes, all the stuff, right? So I don't need these two small refrigerators. There's two more things that's going to be sitting out in the garage that I got to get rid of. Two refrigerators, a dishwasher. This is what I said when I said I really wanted to get a golf cart garage. All this extra room is needed, and I just don't have it. So when I start setting that stuff out there, it's just going to be more stuff in the way. I got to get rid of this stuff. And that's the thing that really irritates me more than anything. The Christmas truck. What? Oh, I didn't even see that. Let me see if I can get this over here and you can see it. Uh, I don't know if you can see it very well, but yeah, Sue decorates the windows. That's a Santa Claus head down here. And I can't hardly see it out here, but I think is that the truck you're talking about there? And then what's this? Looks like a Merry Christmas hat or something here. That's on the inside of the house. Let me put this back over here. If I was to go around the house and look, she's probably got stuff everywhere. She's the decorator when it comes to Christmas. She likes Christmas decorations. The lanai at night, there's Christmas icicle lights all around the inside of the lanai. She put them up like 8 years ago. I just left them there. I didn't see no point in taking them down. So now around Christmas time, she plugs them in. I don't know what else. I used to put Christmas lights in my palm trees. I always thought that was kind of neat to, decorate the palm trees with lights. And I haven't done that for a long time. It's, I don't know. It's a lot of work to get them things up there. That Sylvester palm has really needle sharp stickers in it, and putting lights up there, you can get stuck. This Robellini has stickers in it too. The only one that don't is that palm tree over there. But I don't want to climb on the ladder to put lights up there, so I just don't do it. But now there are some people that do. They do decorate houses down here in the winter for Christmas. Gosh, I don't. My neighborhood here, we don't really do all that much. There might be a few lights here and there they'll put on the bushes out front, things like that. There's one house over there, he put lights on top of his house. Out on the other side of the highway, there are a few homes over there that there's a company here you can hire, and you can buy a certain package. And I don't know how it works or what they charge. They'll come to your house, they'll put all this stuff up for you, whatever package you decide to get. And then after Christmas, they'll come and they'll take them down for a price. I don't do that either. I just feel like all we're doing is we're making the electric company rich. But anyway, yeah, there's a few people that decorate their houses up outside with lights and things. And I do have stuff in there that I used to do when I first moved here. I got 3 yard Christmas trees, spiral Christmas trees that light up. I have all the lights I need to put them on the bushes here. They're like fish nets, kind of like they go over all these bushes. I had lights inside the house that went around every one of these windows. Kitchen here, the bedroom over there, I had lights around all these windows. I had lights that went around the garage door. It's all up in the attic because I'm not going to do it anymore. Uh-oh. I think I just jumped. Where did it go? Hey, Phil B. I think Phil B's been traveling for the holidays. Realtor of stars. what you said the other day there, Jerry? My wife was telling me about it last night. I forget what we was talking about. I forget what she even said. But she told me about some remark you made on there. I laughed my ass off. I thought it was funny. Phil B says people are dying to get into the villages and people are dying to get out. That is so true. Oh, Taco Tuesday. Yeah, I forgot about that one. You're right. But Taco Tuesday, they had that at that Mexican restaurant over there that I did a little video on to show you where that Mexican. You know, I'm not a food review channel. I just not. So whenever I tell you I'm going into a restaurant, um, I'm generally not the guy that takes pictures of the food and stuff and tell you about the texture of the bun. And that's just not me. I just tell you whether I like it or not, if I think it's overpriced or if it's good or bad. I mean, that's just it. Well, that Mexican restaurant over there, there's two of them, and that Mexican restaurant over there is one of my favorites. It's not golf cart accessible in the villages. The only one that's in the villages so far that I've had Mexican food at. Now, they're all basically the same. There's really not much difference between any of them. I swear to God, here's what I think, and I don't know this. I think all Mexican restaurants here, they're buying food. It all comes from Mexico, all of it. It all comes frozen, I think. They fly it in, they put it in the kitchen, you order something, they throw it in the microwave for 3 minutes and bring it out and tell you, oh, the plates are hot. Well, that's because it's been in the microwave. Because how can they cook this food that fast? I have never been to a Mexican restaurant yet where I've waited much more than 3 or 4 minutes and here comes a whole meal. I mean, it's not this bad. I'm just saying that's just not very good, I don't think. But there's two of them here that I do like. I like that one over there at Wildwood, and they have a thing called Taco Tuesday. That's what led me to tell you about it. I went there one day for Taco Tuesday. I wanted to see what's the big deal about Taco Tuesday. They're $1 a taco. I don't know. Is that a good deal? I don't know. So we go over there, right? I swear to you, Taco Tuesday over there is kind of like when the new iPhone comes out. Bring your chair and sit in front of the door and wait for them to open. My God, the line came out of the restaurant, went down that sidewalk. I don't even know how far down, way down that sidewalk. And I looked at that and I told Sue, I said, is this the restaurant we're having Taco Tuesday? Yeah. She said, yeah. I said, do we have to stand in that line? She said, yeah. She said, it's pretty popular here. I said, well, we'll go somewhere else and eat. I ain't standing in line to eat nowhere. Unless I'm poor and it's free food, I ain't standing in line. So we left. I've never been there during Taco Tuesday. My other favorite Mexican restaurant is over here at Colony. At the far end of the building there is a Mexican restaurant. Wish I could tell you the name. I don't remember the name. I like the place. The food's good. The people in there are good at what they do. The thing about it I don't like, and hey, it's just the way it is, it's the building design, really. It's got very high ceilings in it, and there's no ceiling panels, whatever you want to call them. It's kind of like open construction. You know what I mean? And so during snowbird season, like now, that place around lunch and dinner time will be packed, full. You go in there, everything echoes. And it is just hard to carry on any kind of conversation with anybody because everybody gets to talking louder because they can't hear it. So, and the next thing you know, everybody in there is like yelling across the table. It echoes everywhere. And so I just don't really go over there unless I can go over there at an oddball time. The average person here probably goes to dinner what time? 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, something like that. Sue and I will go at 3. I know that sounds old time stuff, right? But it's so when we go there, it's not so damn noisy. Our country clubs here are the same way. If you sit inside, it's going to be noisy. Most of them are all noisy. You can't carry on a conversation. So I usually like to sit outside. One is outside has a buffer zone and it doesn't echo. So even though there's a lot of people out there, it's easier to carry on a conversation. So that's why on my meet and greets when we do them, I usually I ask, where are you at? Where are you staying? And once I know where you're staying, then I can generally pick a place or two out that I know we can have a conversation without yelling at each other. Connie says recipe request. I don't know. I don't cook, Connie. You can ask anybody here that's followed me. If it comes out of a can or I can stick it in the microwave, I'm good. I'm serious. I can cook a little. Like, I don't mind cooking on a barbecue grill, if that's actually a barbecue grill. I don't mind making a steak or a pork chop or something like that out on the grill. But if you're asking me for a recipe of Sue's chicken and noodles, that's an old recipe that came from my grandmother, maybe even farther than that. My mom had it forever. She's the only one that had that recipe. I think she done it because she knew that all of us was going to come to her house for Christmas, because she made that for Christmas. And we all went up there to get it. Then she gave the recipe to Sue. Sue has it now. Don't know what it is, but I know that it's fairly intense on making it. No bag noodles are used. All the noodles are handmade. That's all I can tell you. And then she makes it. And she doesn't like making it because it's fairly intense. So she makes it for Thanksgiving because I asked for it. And she makes it for Christmas because I asked for it. And that's about it. I get it twice a year. And I don't ask for her to make it any other time because I know it's intense. Along with that, though, I asked for my, what I call Cherry's Jubilee. She says it's not Jubilee. It's whatever it's called. And I get that twice a year. And the only reason why I get that twice a year is because I'm allowed. She doesn't like giving it to me because I know it's probably not heart healthy at all. But I get it twice a year. So, and I don't even know what the recipe is for that. I just eat it. That's something you'll have to ask Sue when she's on here. Usually, you hear lately, I bet she's been getting out here on Wednesday because I know there's a lot of you out there that like to ask her questions. So she's been doing it. Today, when I got up, she was going out the front door and she said, I'm going to ladies' lunch. I said, okay. And that was it. That's all I know. Well, Cliff, I'm not trying to tell people how to live. Some people, because of my attitude, and I know I've got kind of a gruff attitude on here, it seems like I'm a little rough sometimes, is I'm just trying to tell you what an average day is here, an average life is here, that's all. So when somebody says, well, you didn't show us a picture of that hamburger, my channel ain't about showing you a picture. I'm not a food critic. All I'm doing is showing you an average day. That day I happen to go down to video that home that's for sale. That's the difference between when I cut that video. While we were down there, Sue said, oh, they're having a grand opening today at Sawgrass. I said, oh, really? Well, let's go over there. I said, I want to go to McGrady's and get a burger and a beer or something because I've never been there. I've heard about the place being priced pretty pricey. I wanted to see. And I did a video of the menu showing you the price of stuff on there. And you could see some of the prices were a bit much. The beer was $7.50 per glass. That's outrageous to me. But anyway, it is what it is. And then they were having a grand opening. While we were there, we're just kind of showing you what people were doing. They were coming up. They were sitting here getting ready for the grand opening. The band was getting ready to start. There's a Zelle. We park over here. Here's what's going on. That's what I do. I'm just kind of showing you an average day of what some people is going to do when everything there kind of settles down. Right now, it's all new. When it settles down, that'll be one of them places where we went over to Publix grocery store, done some grocery shopping. We park our car here. We thought we'd come over here to Grady's, have some lunch, or in that market, whatever was in there. There was, I think, a pizza place. There was a bar in there. There's some other stuff in there. We went in there. We had some lunch. We came outside. We sat down here. We had a couple of drinks, met some neighbors, and we listened to some music. I don't know if they're going to have a dance floor there or not. People will probably make one. And I'm just kind of showing you an average day of what might happen in this area right here. That's all. I'm not being critical. I'm not saying this is bad, that's good. Sometimes I got my opinion about some things, but that's all I'm really doing is showing you, if you buy a $500,000 house here, here's one of the things that you'll be doing. Driveway parties. I've talked about them a lot. Every new neighborhood has tons of driveway parties. You'll have them. I've done video on driveway parties. That's all I'm doing. I'm just showing you that kind of thing. I got a thing up here, Jerry Bell. It says 10. Jerry Bell 10. By the way, while I see that real quick, you can gift, while I'm live only, you can gift memberships to my YouTube channel. I don't know exactly how it works, but I do know that somewhere there's a button here where you can gift memberships. Like you want to give 5 of them away. That only costs you $5. It's 99 cents if you do the cheaper one, and that's fine. And that'll also help the Children's Wish thing. So you're going to pay for $5, and then you can gift those 5 to other people, or maybe YouTube sends out the membership gifts. Maybe that's how it works. You buy five memberships, let's say 99 cents a piece. It's less than $5 actually, and then YouTube will hand them out to people on the channel watching this right now. So I encourage that. Don't ask me how it works. I don't know. I just know there's a gift membership way there, and then YouTube will hand them out. I think, yeah, they randomly will hand them out. So I encourage that. Do that. Phil B says, been totally kicked off twice. Which one of your mods kicked me? None of them. Not as far as I know, Phil. I'm just sitting out on a cell phone. I guarantee you, Phil, you know me. I am not the one kicking you off at all. I've got about a half a dozen people that are just big time supporters of my channel, and it's so much appreciated. I can't even begin to tell you. Jerry Bell is one. Phil B is one. There's a few more. I know I'm going to leave names off, and I'm going to piss people off, but I'm not doing it on purpose. But anyway, Phil B, you know, I would never kick you off of here. Sue just left a message. I seen it pop up. It says, I'm going to go look at a dog. Kitchen appliances wasn't enough. She's never on here. Yeah, she is. She was on here last Wednesday, and the Wednesday before that, and the Wednesday before that. Maybe you're not watching all of them. CYA. Yes. That should be my t-shirt, shouldn't it? CYA. You know, I told my kids that growing up. My youngest boy even told Sue one time, they talk about me behind my back. He said, if he says that to me one more time, he says, Mom, I'm going to go nuts. I'm just trying to teach him something. In life, you know, the old idea of handshake and trusting everybody, that's the way I grew up. Those days are gone, I think, unless you really, really know that person. Cover your ass. I hear they are considering changing the anonymous complaint. Well, that's a district by each district, Rizzo. That's not a village's thing. Each district has a complaint-based community, and each district has the right, if they want to, if they get enough votes, if enough people in that area want to, they go to a meeting, they have a meeting, they'll take a vote, and then, wow, it can be gone. I'm in District 10. We have not considered that. And if we do have a meeting about it, I'll be the one standing here with my little microphone in hand saying why I want the anonymous complaint to stay. Because I don't want to fight with neighbors. I just want my neighborhood to stay the way it is. Clean. You know, everything's looking good. Neighbors don't, I'm saying this even though in the back of my mind I'm thinking, I just told you I got a neighbor back here I can't stand. I almost sound hypocritical now. But I like the idea of the fact we're not fighting, carrying on, nitpicking, and all this and that. And do away with that anonymous complaint. That's the first thing that's going to happen. This neighbor's going to talk about that neighbor, and this, yeah, I don't like it. Or because they don't want to fight about it, nobody's going to make a complaint, And then all of a sudden, we're going to have cars sitting in driveways with flat tires on them and stuff like that. And I just don't want to deal with that kind of thing. So I guess I'll be the guy going around saying, hey, I'm the guy going to complain about this car. Get it cleaned up and get it out of the driveway. I'm not going to argue about it, or I'm going to turn you in. And then right away, I'm going to have somebody hating me, right? I mean, I just always said, you know what the district rules are when you bought? Just follow the rules and there's no problem. Thanks, Jerry. Jerry put up a link to the PayPal account if you want to make a one-time donation to the Children's Wish thing through my PayPal account. You can do it there also, but you don't have to. You can come to Wednesday Night Live next month, not this month, next month. Let me explain that so we're clear on this. Any donations I get on this month's WNL, through super chats, super stickers, all that money goes for next month's, or as much as I can, goes on next month's gift to give away on the game show. See, last month we got something like $125 of super chats and things last month. I get 70% of that. I don't get all of that. YouTube keeps 30. You have to do the math there. So whatever it came out to be, we got a $100 gift card again this month for Amazon, sitting there now, that I'm going to give away. And that's how that works. Why? Somebody says, why don't you keep some of that money? Because if I keep it, that means I got to pay income taxes on it. If I give it away, even though I have to report that $125, 30% gets written off because YouTube keeps that, not me. The $100 gift card that I'm giving you gets written off because it's a prize I'm giving away. And I don't have to pay any income taxes on it. Technically, you are supposed to report that $100 prize. But whether you do or whether you don't, that's your business and none of mine. Connie Reese is making fun about the way I talk about Washington, wash your clothes. That's an Indiana thing. There's an R in there, but it's silent, but it's in there. I got another one from Jerry Bell. It popped up 10. So I got a 20 and a 10. Whatever you're doing, Jerry, and I'm not sure what you're doing. Are you giving away? I don't know. We'll find out. I get down there. Laura says, great, canned asparagus is awful. I think you're right. I've never had canned asparagus. I've seen it, and I think you're right. It's probably mushy, and it's just one of them things that, you know, no, Sue gets fresh down here at the farmer's market. Not all the time, but whenever she does get them. I love the fresh asparagus when I'm having a steak, which, to be honest with you, I haven't had a steak in quite a while. I'm so upset with the steak quality in our stores. I just told her, don't buy anymore. Just don't buy anymore. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of paying top dollar for this crap steak. I'm a farmer. I know what steaks look like. I know how they're supposed to be done. And the stuff we're getting here, I swear to God, must be old retired milk cows. That's nasty. And I'm not going to pay it anymore. I want a steak. I said, we'll just go out to a nice restaurant and I'll buy a steak. I'll eat that steak. Longhorn, I've never had a bad steak at Longhorn. Never. Knock on wood. I've been to Texas Roadhouse. None of these places are fancy, but I've never had a bad steak at Texas Longhorn. So, a Roadhouse, I mean. So, I'll go there. But the steaks at our grocery stores around here suck. And I don't care if they're watching this channel. They suck. They're old Brahma bulls or something out here in our pasture fields, been eating cactus their whole life. They're awful, and I'm not going to buy any more of them. Oh, was that me getting mad again? Going back to what that one lady said in a comment, Skip gets mad. Man, I'm just fed up with this. Squirrel. Laura Lamb says, your neighborhood is 8 years old and some homes are on their third owner. Yeah, absolutely. Good example. Guy bought a house brand new. Me and Sue were moving in. We didn't even meet this guy. The very next day he closed on that house, his wife suddenly passed away, died. He didn't even move in. He in turn had to resell. He said, I don't want to live here. She's not going to be here. I understand. So he sold the house. And by him selling that house within that first year, any profits that he made on that house, he had to give it back to the developer. That's just the way it works in my neighborhood. I think that's the way it is down south too. You can't sell a house for profit until you lived in it for 1 full year. So anyway, he sold it to somebody else. They moved in. They were here like 3 or 4 years, I think. And then they were building, at that time, they were building newer houses down like Dunedin or maybe over at Pine Ridge, Pine Hills, somewhere over there. And he found a house over there that he liked better for whatever their reasons was. Too big, too small, I don't know. He sold the house to now, I think the people in there is the third owner in 8 years. And then he moved over there. That's just the way it goes, man. People come, people go. With these new models coming out, people come down here, they buy their first home, and there's so many things you don't know when you buy your first home. One is you don't know the neighborhood. You don't know who lives in it. What's the problems in that neighborhood? If you buy a pre-owned home, I'm talking about. You don't know what it is you like and don't like. You might decide that the house is too big. You might decide that the house is too small. You need another bedroom. 2 bedrooms aren't big enough. I got to have a third bedroom. I need that golf cart garage. That's me. You might move because of that reason. I found a house that I can buy for about the same price, but it's got a golf cart garage. Because the facts are, and here is one of the weird facts here, you can almost buy in every area, you can almost buy a brand new house, like the house you're looking at that's pre-owned, cheaper than that pre-owned home. And so that's how they end up keep selling them and keep selling them and keep selling them. And the only other thing you have to concern yourself with is the bond. New house comes with a new bond. A pre-owned home may have a bond that's paid for or damn near paid for. That's really the only 2 big issues of that. Gobsmack says, this is Skip Wednesday, isn't it? Yep, it is, Gob. Hey, Joy. Been out Christmas shopping? Is that why you're late? Ignore the haters. Oh, I do. I don't pay no attention to it. It's just that after a while, you just get tired of it, you know? That's why I got so many people in YouTube jail. You know, if I was to take a poll around here, next to Ed McGinty, I probably got more people in YouTube jail than anybody here because I just don't want to deal with it anymore. You know, people coming from other YouTube channels to my channel, and they try to promote that channel or my channel, and I just think that's downright rude. Um, I don't know. You know, I try to do what I can do to promote my own channel. And I do promote a lot of other channels, but I promote the other channels that are being fair about everything. And some people just aren't. Um, anyway, without getting into all that, Kelly says she started her Christmas shopping yesterday. You know, back when we had kids still around, it wasn't unusual for us, seriously, because we were always on a budget my whole life. And I'm kind of on a budget here, too. But our whole life, we would, wherever a deal was at for the kids, especially when they were younger, it was a lot easier. But we sometimes would start Christmas shopping in the middle of summer. What they call it when you went to like Kmart and all these different stores, and they had like this layaway thing for Christmas, and you could put as much as you wanted in there, and then you made much payments on it, like every week or something like that, and then when Christmas came around, you could pay it off and then take it out. That was a layaway. Layaway. I think that's what it was. We did that. We almost had to. But by the time Christmas came around, our kids were um, always had a good time. Had a lot of stuff to play with and look at. I don't think Sue was, Marcy was asking if Sue was ever going to go back to Two Forks Up again. I don't think so. She feels funny about doing it with somebody else other than Deb. And as a matter of fact, I think on one of the Wednesday Porch Settin things here, she even said in there, she said, if anybody else would be interested in maybe doing that with me, she said, send us an email, let me know. And she said, and I'll get with you and we'll see if it'll work out. I don't know what she's looking for. That's not my video stuff. I just edit it for them. And then I post it on my channel on a day. Back then, I was videoing like 4 and 5 days a week. So what I ended up doing was I think I gave them Wednesday, right? See, this Porch Settin is taking the place of Sue and Deb's Two Forks Up because she just didn't want to do it with anybody else but Deb. And so then it was, well, we're going to do it when I go down to Mount Dora and visit Deb. We'll go downtown, I'll do a bunch of video, and that might be enough for 2 and 3 weeks at a time. Well, Deb's been so busy down there decorating and redecorating, and of course here we're busy and everything. I didn't see that working from the very beginning, and I still don't see it working, and it hasn't worked up to this point. But just so you guys know, that little video that they done down there that I edited and put up on our channel, that community down there, Waterman Village, they have also a Facebook page, and they asked my permission to use that video. I thought they was going to use part of it on their Waterman Village Facebook page, and Deb sent me a link to it. They used the whole video on their Facebook page, which I thought was nice. That's a compliment to me and Sue and Deb, all of us actually, for doing that video, me for editing it. And I didn't edit it that much. I just felt like for what they did, I'm just better just to let them walk, let them talk, and I only edited as much as I could. If it was a long time where they were, say, walking down a hallway and they weren't doing much talking, I cut that hallway out where we went from one scene directly to the next. You'll see some of that in there. But yeah, I thought that was a compliment to us that they actually put our video on their Facebook page about Waterman Village. John Keller says, see you tonight. Hope so. Hope we ain't got no problems. You know how it goes. Marcia says, oh, Jerry must have left. I guess Marcia's in charge now. Marcia says, oh, she says, Jerry, yikes, wish me luck. Everybody please behave. You got Bill B. He's in here. He'll help you a little bit. Bill B's over at the Winn-Dixie waiting for his wife to come out of Winn-Dixie, or he's over at Pinellas Shopping Center waiting for her to come out of the Winn-Dixie shopping, the store. So anybody's out running around watching this, hey, go over to Pinellas there by Winn-Dixie. Bill B's sitting in the car. Everybody go by and blow their horn. Dennis says, I remember wearing Easter hats to church as a kid. That's what she did. She bought them Easter dresses. All of them wore Easter dresses. They all had their own Easter hat. I don't know what the girls were allowed to pick out and not pick out. Sue probably, guided them a little bit. But yeah, I can remember they all had like white dresses on, Easter hats. We got pictures. And so I know Sue misses that. Laura says, like your honesty, keep it up. I don't know no other way. I just don't. I was never raised to BS anybody. If you made a deal and you did a handshake, that's all the ink you needed on the paper. A man's word is his bond, kind of thing. If you're not trustworthy, then you're nothing. And I'm that way today. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but what I'm telling you is the truth. And if you don't want to hear the truth, as they say on the Jack Nicholson movie, then you don't want to watch me. Seriously. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not trying to chase you away. I want all the subscribers I can get. I need a lot more. I am so far behind. I have been outsubscribed by almost every YouTuber here in Villages. There's a reason for it. I think I scare them off. Sue told me that. She said, you scare them off. Okay, I guess. Connie Reese says giveaways. Yeah, I give things away here once in a while, about once a month. I haven't got the new magazine yet. It won't come out till December probably. And on WNL, we have a prize we give away. I think it's a fairly decent prize for the people that show up and are willing to do the super chats and super stickers. That depends on that prize. I mean, seriously, if you come to the show, everybody give a $5 super chat or super sticker, $2 super. It doesn't make any difference. Whatever you give goes on next month's show as the prize. Here lately, we've been giving away gift cards for Amazon because because of the shipping costs anymore, it's something that's fairly cheap for me to send to you. And it's also something you can go to Amazon and you can pick out whatever you want. I didn't know until recently, I think it was last month's show maybe, the guy sent me an email, said he was the winner. So I said, send me your address, I'll mail you this card. He sent me an email saying, hey, if you want to just scratch off the back of it, and what'd I do? Send him a picture of the Q card, the Q code, or the number of the Q code, something like that. He said, I can just do that right here. I'd never done that before, and I was leery about it. So anyway, I did. I scratched off the back of the card. I sent him the number or the picture, one or the other, and he sent me a thing back, said, okay, I got it. He said, thanks very much. So if we can do it that way, I don't even have to mail it to you. John says, you got to have stuff. That's all we have around here is stuff. I swear. You know, when we came down here, I told Sue, I said, we had a lot of stuff up north. I don't want a lot of stuff down here. I want the house to be neat, clean, have everything we need, but I don't want to have to walk around this to get to that. I just don't want to. Well, guess what? That's where we're at right now. Marcy wants to know if I can contact a company that cleans the dryer ducts and explain the process. I'd be glad to. I don't know who that company is. And sometimes I get a hold of them and I try to get them to come like on WNL. And that's a 75% no there. Something about going live they just don't like about it. I think they feel like you might trap them and they're stuck on camera, and I'm not going to do that. Or so, well, then maybe I can do a video. I'll just call you up one-to-one and I'll record this about questions. And generally what I do on that is I will come like to a Wednesday night here and say, hey, I've got a guy coming on. I'm going to do a video about duct cleaning. What kind of questions do you want me to ask this guy? And then I depend on you to tell me. And most cases, believe it or not, you guys won't do it. You won't send me the other questions. I get a few of you that will, but it's not near enough. It's kind of like having somebody to come on WNL once in a while, a brand new person that just bought a house in the village. This is the second time I've mentioned it on this video, that's willing to come on for 10 or 15 minutes and tell us, why do you buy here? Why did you end up buying in that neighborhood? Just silly stuff. People want to know, did you buy a house somewhere else and move out of the villages like Deb did? And I've tried to get Deb to do it. She won't do it. She says, I don't want to say anything bad about the villages because I love the place. I'm not asking you to say anything bad. I'm just simply saying, explain to us why you decided to move out and go to wherever you went. I know the reason, but I want Deb to do it. And she won't volunteer to do it. So I can't force people to do something they don't want to do. And so anyway, so I'm telling you, I'm employing you people now. If you're willing to come on the show and tell us about why it is you're thinking about moving to the villages, why have you bought in the villages, why have you picked the neighborhood that you're in, why did you choose to move out of the villages if you did, email me and we'll set this thing up. And I'll promise you, I'll do it in a way that's comfortable to you. Mark Berry, right here. I see it right there. I'm finally down there, Mark. Mark gifted 5 new memberships for the Villages Skip Smith memberships. That's what it says. Gifted 5. The Villages Skip Smith memberships. Cool, Mark. Appreciate it. I would give 5 or so away myself, but I don't know how to do it. I don't. Tell me, Mark, how do I do that? Can I do it? Oh, it says right on here, J.C. Comer got gifted one. Joanne Clegg got gifted one. John Tomulanis got gifted one. Matthew Day in a Life was gifted a membership. Bob Russell was gifted a membership. All these are by Mark. Mark, thank you so much. Who else got them? Mark, he's got a list of them here. Catherine Hiller was gifted one by Mark. Linda Hurst was gifted a membership by Mark. Trevor B. was gifted a membership by Mark. Patrick Butler was gifted a membership by Mark. Mr. Marlin was gifted a membership by Mark. Gringo Loco was gifted a membership by Mark. I haven't seen him on here either. Mark, that is so kind of you to do that. KM was gifted a membership by Mark. I'm going down here. Kyle Rizzo was gifted a membership by Mark. Hey, Marjorie, appreciate you coming. We're going to be on here for about maybe another 15, 20 minutes. I'm watching it. This iPad's good for about 2 hours, and then it'll let me know your battery's about dead, and then I got to go. So, yeah. Thanks, Mark. Thanks so much. I don't know. Mark, here it is again. Mark gifted 20 more memberships. Oh, my Lord. That means everybody on here should be a member. I'm going past it. Okay, Grandpa Eric was gifted a membership. He's not on here. Is he? Yeah, he is. I see it there. Ruth Rager was gifted a membership by Mark. Mr. Marlin, I think, was gifted a membership. I can't tell. Maybe not. He might have already been a member. Mr. Marlin says, I heard Sue was looking at a St. Bernard. Oh, I know that's not true. No. If she did, I'm loading this big bugger back out in the car and say, you take him on down to the dog pound because he's not staying here. I know Sue. It has to be a small dog. Because she'll walk the dog all the time. She'll walk him. She'll buy little booties to go on his feet. So on a hot summer's day, he don't get his paws burnt on the asphalt. I swear to you, this thing will have clothes. It'll be spoiled like you wouldn't believe. Like all dogs in villages are. I'm telling you. Ask anybody here that's got a dog. They have Christmas outfits. They're spoiled. I always said, if I die, if you can come back as a... Uh-oh. There was a warning. There was low battery, so I'm going to have to go here real quick. If I can come back as a second life, I always said I want to come back as a dog owned by somebody here in the villages. William Rizzo got a gifted membership from Mark. Good Lord. I can't even go down there quick enough. My low battery thing went off. Okay, I'm going to have to go out of here. Hey, thanks everybody for coming. Hopefully you'll come to the Wednesday night live show tonight. Hopefully everything will go off smooth. We'll see. Well, the last 2 or 3 WNL shows really went off without too much of a glitch. Hadn't really been all that much. We make fun of it, but it hadn't been really hardly anything. But yeah, hopefully it'll go smooth. Hopefully everything will go good. And thanks, Mark, for sending out all them gifted memberships. I appreciate it. I'm going to have to figure that out myself to see if I can do that, because I wouldn't mind doing that once in a while. I just don't know how to do it yet. On the iPad anyway, I don't know how to do it. So the rest of you, see you tonight. Have a good day. See you on the other side. Adios, amigos.